Hey everybody, welcome to Fragrance Explorer. My name's Robert and today we're doing something a little different by taking a look at two fragrances that are clones of Creed Aventus. Supremacy Silver by Afnan and Club de Nuit Intense Man by Armaf. So let's get started. Creed Aventus was introduced in 2010 and arguably changed the landscape of men's fragrance at the time. Today, it's still an aspirational fragrance that's priced well beyond the reach of the casual fragrance collector. And as such, since its introduction, almost every design house has come out with their own take to try to capitalize on that success that it received. However, if you're searching the interwebs for a cheaper version of Aventus, you'll almost immediately find two fragrances that bubble to the top as the nearest imitation of the real thing: Club de Nuit Intense and Supremacy Silver. So let's take a look at the note breakdown of Creed Aventus and then see how Supremacy Silver and Club de Nuit Intense Man stack up in their respective note pyramids. In the top, we have lemon, pink pepper, apple, bergamot, and black currant. In the mid, we have pineapple, jasmine, and patchouli. And in the base, we have birch, ambergris, cedarwood, oakmoss, and musk. Let's compare that to the note pyramid of Supremacy Silver. Supremacy Silver has top notes of pineapple, black currant, bergamot, and apple. In the mid, it has birch, patchouli, jasmine, and rose. And in the base, it has musk, oakmoss, ambergris, and vanilla. Let's take a look at the differences between Aventus and Supremacy Silver. Now the top notes are missing lemon and pink pepper. We also find pineapple in the top of Supremacy, while it's a heart note in Aventus. In the heart of Supremacy, we find rose, which Creed Aventus doesn't claim to be one of its notes. However, on both base notes and Fragrantica, rose is listed in the note pyramid by the fragrance community. So I think it may be there, but it's not listed. Now the base of Supremacy Silver is missing cedar, while vanilla is added. Now I suspect the reason of that is because Creed may be using real ambergris, which has vanilla undertones. However, at the price point of Supremacy Silver, Afnan is likely to be using a synthetic ambergris like ambroxan and adding vanilla to get closer match to what we find in Aventus. Now let's take a look at the note pyramid for Club de Nuit Intense Man. In the top, it's got lemon, pineapple, bergamot, black currant, and apple. In the mid, it has birch, jasmine, and rose. And in the base, it's got musk, ambergris, patchouli, and vanilla. Now let's take a look at the differences between Aventus and Supremacy Silver. So the top notes are missing pink pepper. Now while pineapple is in the top rather than in the heart, we also found that same thing in Silver Supremacy. Now in the mid, we have birch, which is found in the base of Aventus, and rose, like we found in Supremacy Silver. In the base, we have musk and ambergris, like Aventus, but we're missing cedar and oakmoss. However, like Supremacy Silver, Club de Nuit includes vanilla. Now again, I believe this is likely because they're using synthetic ambergris, and they need to make up for the missing vanilla undertones that real ambergris would have. So impressions. Now, full disclosure, you guys, I need you to know that I do not own Aventus, nor do I intend to buy it. And the reason is because my wife cannot stand the smell of Aventus or any of these clones. Consequently, whenever I've worn these fragrances over the last month to get ready for the review, she sends me to an entirely different area of the house so she doesn't have to smell me. And now also, my youngest daughter, who's around 20, she hates the smell of Aventus and she hates these fragrances as well. That being said, I love the smell of both of these fragrances. I think they're bold, I think they're masculine, and I'd wear them all the time if my wife wouldn't shun me and put me in a different area of the house. So we've looked at the note pyramid differences, and the two fragrances are really similar. However, there are subtle differences that the note pyramid doesn't account for. Silver Supremacy has an almost harsh opening that takes about 5 minutes to get past. Now once that settles down, it's really pleasant. Club de Nuit Intense, on the other hand, has a very lemony opening that's really quite bright. So much, though, that it smells a little bit like Lemon Pledge, and some people might find that off-putting. Now, both of these fragrances have a distinct smokiness to them, and although it's not listed in the note pyramid, I think that both of these fragrances smell a little bit like leather, especially as the lighter top notes start to burn away. From a performance standpoint, of the two, Supremacy Silver is the weaker performer. Both from a sillage and longevity standpoint, it's weaker. Now, Club de Nuit Intense is strong, both in projection and longevity. It'll easily last all day, and you'll still have decent skin scent the next day if you don't shower in the evening before you go to bed. And I hate to use the word beast to describe performance, but that's the best word that I can attribute to the way that that fragrance performs. So as far as presentation goes, both fragrances have a nice heavy glass flagon that they couldn't be more different from one another. Silver Supremacy is in this elegant mirrored flask with a heavy metal stopper, and it's really quite beautiful. It also has an excellent atomizer and provides a medium fine droplet distribution. Club de Nuit Intense, on the other hand, is presented in this heavy, shiny black glass with some gaudy jewels that are kind of bedazzled on the stopper and the tag here. Nevertheless, the atomizer is really good, and as far as the droplet distribution and control is concerned, it's also very good. So presentation, the winner in my book is Supremacy Silver. So final thoughts, which of these fragrances do I like better? I like them both. And this may sound strange, but when I wear them both at the same time. I layer them on top of each other. I spritz on the Supremacy Silver first, and then I layer the Club de Nuit Intense on top of that. Now the dry bite of the Supremacy Silver tones down that lemon pledge opening that we get in the Club de Nuit Intense, and in my opinion it makes it a better fragrance. Also, Supremacy Silver has Oakmoss in its base, which is missing from the Club de Nuit Intense, and it bolsters that base to make it smell much more like Aventus. In my opinion, which is very subjective, the sum of these two fragrances is better than either one of them on their own. However, by the time you purchase two Aventus clones, you're well on your way to making a down payment on the real deal Aventus. So you got to think about that before you invest in two fragrances. So thanks again for watching the reviews. I'm really happy to be back and making content again. And if you haven't subscribed or mashed that like button yet, please do so. We're getting really close to the 1,000 subscriber threshold. And I know that doesn't sound like much, but it's a really nice little milestone to cross. I'm a one-man, self-funded operation here, and it really encourages me to keep going when I see folks subscribe and engage in the comments. So I hope you like this episode. It's a little different than the standalone fragrance reviews that I normally do. And if you like the fragrance comparisons, let me know. I'll start sprinkling in some more of those comparison videos along with the standalone reviews like I normally do. So have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time.